Be a 30F with a master's in sociology, live in a trendy downtown loft. Rent is $3,100 a month, funded entirely by the parental ATM. Dad runs a regional freight company, pure textbook, boomer energy polo shirt, tucked into cargo shorts. Talks non-stop about profit margins and real work. Family? Does Sunday dinner every week. Basically psychological warfare for me. Dad asks about my professional direction. Tell him I'm an independent researcher and cultural commentator. He exhales so hard the plates rattle. Mom quietly. Sipping Chardonnay, asks if I've met anyone. Nice lately. Tell her I'm currently committed to the movement. Decide I need to prove them both wrong. I'm not some drifting academic. I'm a visionary founder going to start a business, but not a soulless capitalist one. A third space, a community center that dismantles toxic coffee culture. Starbucks is for compliant sheep. My shop will attract lions. Vegan lions spend 2 straight weeks writing a business plan. On my MacBook, projected revenue looks. Questionable projected social impact. Basically infinite schedule. A formal pitch with, Dad, I have a compelling investment opportunity. He squints at me instantly. Is this another film about plastic straws? No. This is a physical storefront. A cafe concept called The Matron. Explain the model, safe environment, fair trade, everything, radical, book collection, sliding scale, pricing. So nobody is excluded. Dad puts on his reading glasses, scrolls through my tablet, slowly. Olivia. Restaurants and cafes are brutal businesses. Over half collapse in the first year. Coffee profits are tiny. You need constant customer volume. Tell him volume isn't the point. Community is the point. We're building a tribe. He rubs his forehead like he has a migraine. How much money are you asking for? $150,000, startup capital. Consider it early inheritance argument lasts almost an hour. Finally compromises $100,000 loan, 0% interest. But if the business dies, I have to work HR at his trucking company, deal with the devil, sign the agreement. Anyway, congratulations. I am now a CEO, start hunting for a location, connect with a commercial realtor named Mark, is peak greasy salesman, energy keeps showing me, space is near the finance district. Great foot traffic here, tons of bankers and attorneys, nearly gag. Mark, listen carefully. I don't want suits, I want creatives, I want radicals, I want the people. He sighs and drives me to the arts neighborhood, which is basically 3 streets of dying warehouses, and a weed dispensary shows me an old metal fabrication shop about 3,200 square feet, bare concrete floors, rusted plumbing lines, drafty old windows. Air smells like oil and old dust, but it has character. Mark says rent is $4,800 a month, triple net. Dad texts me, don't sign anything until a lawyer reads the lease. I ignore him, completely sign that afternoon. Mostly because the sunlight looked poetic, floating through the dust. The matron officially exists. Next step equipment. Decide. We need the absolute best espresso machine. Read some coffee blog that worships the llama. Zoco brand order, a custom matte white llama. Zoco, linear, P.B. price tag. $19,200. Dad calls immediately. I just saw a $19,000 charge. Did you buy a car? Tell him it's the heart of the business. He wouldn't put cheap engines in his trucks, right? He grumbles but accepts the analogy. Buy 12 vintage velvet lounge chairs from estate sales. They look artsy. They also smell like mothballs and elderly perfume. Spend $700 having them professionally cleaned. Build a feminist reading nook in the corner, fill it with Butler, hooks. Lord, hang a sign above. It read reflect, revolt, redo. The bathrooms make them fully gender. Neutral. Remove the urinals. They are basically monuments to patriarchal dominance. Replace them with extra stalls. Add a chalkboard wall for community graffiti. Construction takes 3 extra weeks, budget already bleeding. Spent roughly $80,000 just to get doors open. Time to hire staff. Post listings on Craigslist and neighborhood Facebook groups. Looking for baristas for the revolution. Must oppose capitalism. Must support equity experience. Helpful, but vibes more important. Get around 50 applications during interviews. I ask people to analyze media through a social lens. Hire 3 people first. Taylor, 23F, former art school student who dropped out, tells me in the interview labor itself is exploitation. Hire her immediately because honesty matters. She demands $25 an hour. I agree living wages are a human right. Second Jordan, 25, they slash them. Does astrology readings on the side, refuses to work during void of course. Moons claims they can feel negative energy in certain coffee beans. Hire them as vibe manager / barista. Third hire Sam. 27. Technically our diversity hire, a man masters in library science wearing a knit beanie in August. Heat. Soft voice, permanently apologizing posture. Says he wants to learn and unlearn. I hire him to handle lifting boxes and dishwashing. Tell him it's part of his personal re-education. Training week begins, small problem. I actually don't know how to make espresso. Thought coffee was simple. Taylor says she knows, but she improvises everything, refuses to weigh. Beans. Says scales are tools of capitalist control. Espresso. Tastes like burning battery acid. Sam quietly reads the machine manual, figures out grinder calibration. Tries to explain it to me. Sam, please don't mansplain the machine. I literally own it. He shrinks instantly. Sorry, Olivia, just trying to help. Spend 3 days building team unity, sitting in a circle, sharing personal traumas. I feel like an incredible leader. The team feels aligned. We're ready. Grand opening scheduled. October 21st. Cool, crisp, autumn weather. Perfect coffee day. Dad sends an enormous flower arrangement card. Says work hard. Stay focused. Love. Dad. I hide it in the back office. Roses feel way too cliché. Unlock the doors at 7 a.m. Sharp. Taylor is missing. Jordan is missing Sam, already inside at 6:45 a.m., setting up the bar, wiping counters, filling the drip machine. I take a selfie under the neon sign that says smash the patriarchy, post it to Instagram. Caption, we are open. Come sip the revolution, 7:30 a.m. First customer walks in, guy wearing a high-visibility construction vest. Probably working on the street crew outside, looks exhausted, asks for a large black coffee and a donut. I give him my best founder, smile we don't carry donuts. Deep fried sugar, rings reinforce gluttony culture. We do offer vegan scones, though guy shrugs. Fine whatever, large coffee. Then Sam reaches for the pot. I stop him. I'll handle this one, ring it up on the iPad, that'll be $4.75. Guy pauses, $4.75 for plain coffee. Explain. It's single origin, fair trade, shade-grown beans from a women-run cooperative in Peru. He digs through his pocket, says he only has $3. Sorry, price is firm. We have to support ethical labor. He stares at the coffee pot, then at me. Nah, I'll just go to Dunkin', walks out. Sam looks uneasy. Maybe we should have let him have it for $3. No, Sam never cheapened the product by 10. AM, we've sold 4 drinks total. Mostly friends who stopped in to support me. Taylor finally arrives, says the bus schedule was weird. I let it slide. She looks aesthetic behind the espresso machine, 11 a.m. Small wave of customers from the nearby creative agency. Exactly the demographic I wanted. Skinny jeans, MacBooks, round glasses. They order cortados and flat whites. Taylor is running bar. She moves painfully slow. Literally pauses between drinks to scroll her phone line, starts growing. One guy asks if his oat latte is ready. Taylor sighs. Patience is a virtue. Kyle guy looks confused. Drinks finally come out. Milk barely warm because she steamed it. Wrong customers sip them. Faces look disappointed. They leave quietly. End of day 1. Register total $240. Staff wages for the day $430. I tell myself, this is just soft opening turbulence. Dad texts asking about numbers. I reply, incredible energy today. Community momentum is building. Month 1 arrives, reality shows up. With a baseball bat, rent due, $4,800. Electric bill, insane. Because the ancient HVAC barely works. Supplier invoices stacking up. We're losing roughly $200 every day. Foot traffic inconsistent locals avoid the place because prices are high and the vibe is intense. Yelp reviews begin appearing, coffee tasted sour. Staff acted like they hated serving me, nice decor, but weird attitude. I respond to every negative review personally. Maybe your palate isn't developed enough for third-wave coffee. We prioritize mental health over speed. Here feels like I'm fighting a culture. More staff problems start piling up. Jordan calls out twice a week, says Mercury retrograde makes it unsafe to operate machinery. I end up covering shifts. Learn standing on your feet for 8 hours is actually exhausting. Sam quietly keeps everything running, scrubs, bathrooms, washes, dishes, hauls trash bags to the alley. I start resenting how competent he is. Feels like he's making the rest of us look bad. One afternoon, I snap at him. Sam, you don't have to clean the windows. That aggressively it feels performative. He looks confused, they were dirty. Olivia, maybe just relax and read something. He goes to the back and sits with a book. Later, I catch Taylor stealing pastries, see her slip a $6 bill. Vegan brownie into her tote bag. I confront her. Taylor, that's inventory. She shrugs. I was hungry. Are you really policing my hunger? Right now, that sounds very capitalist. I freeze up. I don't want to sound like a greedy boss. Fine, just ask. Next time she smirks. I know I lost that argument. Mid-November rolls around, rainy, miserable afternoon. Shop completely empty. I'm sitting at the big communal table, scrolling Twitter. Algorithm feeding me non-stop rage bait articles about the pink tax on razors and shampoo threads about the gender wage gap. I glance at the profit and loss spreadsheet on my laptop, mostly loss. Dad emailed earlier that morning. Olivia, I reviewed the account activity you're burning, cash cut, labor, or raise prices. I get furious reading it. Why is fixing the system always my responsibility? Why do I have to struggle because the patriarchy designed the economy? I look up, Sam is wiping the counter. Again, he's a man. He moves through the world with built-in privilege, even inside my cafe sanctuary. He takes up space, and I'm paying him the same wage as Taylor. Actually, he earns more with tips. People tip him more because he's friendly. Some days he probably makes more than I do. Sudden realization hits me. This isn't about cutting costs. This is about corrective pricing. I can make a statement and stabilize the finances at the same time. Call an emergency staff meeting. After closing, everyone gathers by the big table. Taylor texting on her phone. Jordan slowly burning sage near the espresso bar. Sam sitting quietly. Paying attention, tell them the cafe is pivoting. We're introducing a new pricing system, call it the equity fee. I start explaining the concept. Men will pay an 18% surcharge women, non-binary, and trans customers pay the normal menu price. The extra 18% represents the wage gap. Money goes towards sustaining the space, aka helping us survive. Rent. Taylor looks up from her phone. Oh my God, yes, absolutely drag them. Jordan nods. Slowly says the energy of the idea is extremely Scorpio-coded. Sam raises his hand carefully. Olivia, isn't that illegal? What do you mean? Illegal charging different prices based on gender in a public business? I'm pretty sure that counts as discrimination. I wave him off. Sam, the law was written by men to protect men. We're operating on a higher ethical level. And honestly, who is going to sue a tiny cafe? People who enjoy money. Maybe Sam mutters, Don't be a coward. Sam, are you an ally or not? He stares down at his sneakers. I am. I just don't want customers screaming at me. Then educate them. If they get upset, it's a teaching opportunity. Policy, rollout. Begins, we spend the weekend painting the front window. Big white lettering, the matron cafe. Notice male customers subject to 18%. Surcharge closing the gap, one latte at a time. Design a new menu. Board, latte, $6, man. Latte, $7.08. Post everything on Instagram and TikTok. Film a video explaining the policy. With edgy music caption says, if you're mad, you're part of the problem. Hashtag male tax. Hashtag feminism. Hashtag equity. Go to sleep. Feeling like a revolutionary, wake up to absolute chaos. Phone notifications going insane. TikTok video. Has 30,000 likes, over 5,000 comments. Comment section is a battlefield. One anime profile picture girl says based queen. Another guy with a pickup truck avatar says, this is literally illegal. Another comment says, I'm coming just to refuse to pay adrenaline pumping. Feel like the protagonist of the internet. First day of the tax policy. Monday morning, there is actually a line outside. Half are supporters, college kids filming TikToks. The other half look like they're here to watch a disaster. I run the register personally. Taylor on espresso, Jordan floating around, burning sage and adjusting crystals. First, customer guy in a suit looks like a corporate lawyer, orders a double espresso that'll be $4.50, I say plus tax. He asks, plus the surcharge, so $5.31. He smiles calmly, shark smile. I identify as a woman today. I freeze the policy has a loophole if I challenge him. I look like a TERF. If I accept it, the policy becomes meaningless. I glare at him. You're mocking identity. I'm simply following your policy. One woman's espresso. Please fine, I ring it up. Normal price, he pays tips. Zero then stands at the pickup counter, staring at me while he waits. My stomach feels weird. Next customer construction. Worker didn't read the sign, orders, a drip coffee. I add the 18%. Why is it $5? Male, tax closing, the wage gap. He stares at me like I spoke ancient Greek lady. I make $22 an hour, hanging drywall. My wife's a nurse, she makes $45 an hour. Who's got the gap? It's systemic, not anecdotal. I say automatically, that's stupid. He says, keep the coffee, walks out. Taylor shouts after him, bye. Fragile masculinity. College students in line, clap. I feel validated but also notice the tip jar is empty. Day 3 of the tax. The novelty is worn off locally. Male regulars disappear completely. Female regulars stop coming because their boyfriends or husbands refuse to step inside. Sales drop another 40% from our already terrible numbers. But online fame is exploding. A local indie blog called City Beat asks for an interview. Headline reads the cafe. Brave enough to ask what fairness means. I repost the article everywhere. Dad comments under the Facebook post. Olivia. I showed this to a lawyer friend. You need to stop immediately. I delete his comment block. Him, he calls me 10 times. I let it all go to voicemail. Trolls start calling the cafe. Phone, Sam answers. The matron, how can I help you? Voice on the other end. Yeah, do you sell D's nuts? Sam hangs up, phone rings again. Immediately is the manager, anti-men. Sam hangs up again. He looks exhausted. Olivia, I can't keep doing this. I've answered 50 prank calls in an hour, then unplug the phone. We don't need it. Sam pulls the cord. We are now officially cut off from phone communication. Friday of week 1, a film crew walks in. I assume documentary crew. Turns out it's the local Fox News station. Reporter is a sharp-looking woman. I think great sister. Solidarity. She shoves a microphone toward me. Olivia reports, say your cafe is violating the State Civil Rights Act. Critics say this is discrimination. What's your response? Camera, light blinding my eyes. I start stumbling over words. It's performance art. It's meant to provoke conversation, but you're charging real money for coffee, she says. Is that still art? We're starting a dialogue, I shout back, voice cracking. Are you aware a class action lawsuit is being organized by a local men's rights group? My stomach drops instantly. They can try. I bluff, segment airs. That same night, they interview a legal expert. He says on camera, oh yeah, she's completely screwed. Legal expert on TV says it's open and shut. Discrimination. I read the comments under the news clip. Thousands of them, people calling me insane spoiled, entitled a brat. I sit in my bathtub, drinking cheap boxed wine, crying. Why does nobody understand? I'm the good one. Here week 2. Arrives, Sam shows up before his shift. No, beanie today, hair neatly combed. Olivia. I'm done. You're abandoning the cause. I'm abandoning a sinking ship. I got hired at a bookstore, minimum wage, but nobody screams at me there. You're weak, Sam. Maybe, but I'm getting paid. He walks out. Jordan stops coming in, sends a text. The energy inside the cafe is toxic, like spiritual black mold. I must protect my peace now. It's just me and Taylor. Taylor is loving the chaos. Shows up wearing a shirt that says, Miss Andrea is hilarious. Problem is she's also lazy without Sam. Cleaning the place, falls apart, trash cans overflow, dishes stack up in the sink. Floor's sticky. Health inspector walks in, unannounced, finds mold inside the ice machine. Sam used to clean it, finds milk stored above safe temperature. Fridge compressor, dying, gives us a C rating and a warning notice. I tape a flyer over the C grade in the window. End of the month, arrives bank account, negative $1,200. Overdraft, penalties $140. Rent check, bounces landlord. Shows up in person, Mr. Brown, huge guy, no visible neck, looks like he collects kneecaps for fun. Olivia, the rent check bounced. I know Mr. Brown. Temporary cash flow issue. Our viral marketing campaign is about to pay off. I don't care about viral. He says, I care about rent and complaints. Tenants upstairs. Say your customers are loud and aggressive. We are passionate, not aggressive. You have 3 days to pay rent, plus late fee or eviction process. Starts he leaves, I check the safe $40 cash. I check Stripe account. $200. Pending, I need $4,800. I start a GoFundMe title, help. The matron survive alt-right harassment. Write a long emotional post about hate groups targeting us. Share the link everywhere, refresh, page 5. Dollar donation from someone named S. $10 donation from my mom. Hours pass. Total raised $125. Comments, brutal. Go, woke, go, broke, use the money to buy a business. Textbook, I delete the fundraiser out of embarrassment. Later, Taylor approaches me. Hey, my paycheck was supposed to clear yesterday. Yeah, bank processing issue, give it another day. Olivia, I have rent too. Is the money actually there? I look at her, my comrade, my fellow revolutionary Taylor. The struggle requires sacrifice. I haven't paid myself in months. She stares at me with disgust. You're rich, your dad is rich. I'm actually broke. Don't lecture me about sacrifice. She unties her apron. I'm taking the rest of the pastries as severance. She empties the entire pastry case into her backpack. Scones, brownies, everything you can't do. That watch me smash the patriarchy, right? You are the patriarchy. Now, Olivia, she walks out. I'm alone in the cafe. The neon sign buzzes, quietly sounds like a fly trapped in a jar. Day 28 of the tax policy. Sheriff arrives, not about the lawsuit, though that paperwork showed up yesterday. This is for eviction, mister. Brown standing beside him, time to go. Miss, I have rights, squatters, rights. It's a commercial lease, Olivia. You have 0 rights. Please pack your things. They watch while I gather my stuff. Grab my laptop, grab the framed article from the blog, interview, grab the llama, Zoco portafilters, leave the furniture, leave the library, books walk out the front door. Mr. Brown locks it behind me, slaps a bright orange eviction notice on the glass, right over the mail tax sign, almost poetic. I stand on the sidewalk holding a box, rain falling again. A guy walks past. It's the construction worker from opening day, the one with $3. He sees me standing there in the rain, sees the eviction. Notice slows down, I brace for the mockery. Told you so? Good riddance, instead. He just shakes his head slightly. Rough break, he says, then keeps walking toward the corner bodega. He doesn't even care enough to laugh at me. That hurts more. I call my dad. He answers immediately. Dad, I know Mr. Brown already called me. Can you come get me the espresso machine? Won't fit in my Prius. I'll send a truck. He says thanks. And Olivia? Yeah. HR position starts Monday. 8 a.m. Sharp. I hang up, stand in the rain, crying for 10 minutes until a huge 18-wheeler with my last name on the side pulls up Yast. Driver steps out. She's a woman, loads my equipment easily. Tough break, she says. Business is hard. Yeah, system's rigged. I whisper. She laughs. Nah, you just gotta sell stuff. People want. She drives me home. I move back into my childhood bedroom. Depression hits like a truck. I sleep 14 hours a day. Dad makes me honor the contract. I start working at the trucking company, HR assistant. My job is approving vacation requests for drivers. Most of them are men. They're polite, tired, just want to get paid and go home. I slowly realize they aren't villains, just cogs, like everyone else. 6 months later, I grab coffee during my lunch break. Starbucks near the office I'm wearing, a gray pantsuit, soul, completely evacuated. Order. A vanilla latte, barista turns around. It's Jordan, or at least looks like Jordan, but normal, now no. Face tattoos showing hair, dyed plain brown. Jordan, they recognize me. Hey Olivia, you work here. Now yeah, benefits are good. They're paying for my online college too. Oh, nice, that'll be $5.45. I tap my card. How's the revolution going? Jordan asks. On pause, I say they hand me the cup. Careful, it's hot. I sit on a bench outside, drink the corporate mass-produced patriarchal coffee. It tastes consistent. It tastes stable. I check my banking app. Paycheck just landed, plus $2,800. First positive balance I've seen in a year. I sip the latte watch. A dad push a stroller down the sidewalk. He looks happy. I don't hate him. I just envy him. Realize I might have been the toxic one all along my face when I played myself.